Today's episode is brought to you by 4R Construction out of Rosette, Wyoming. Hello and welcome to Brassy Business Podcast, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly with business owners and what they have done to make their businesses shine. I am your host, Haley Ruff, and let's talk business. So this week, I am talking with a type of business that everybody has dealt with. All I know about this industry is from the consumer side. I know absolutely nothing about the back end stuff. So I'm excited to learn about the day-to-day operations and what this company has to offer. Today, I am talking with Jon Craft with Jon Craft Insurance. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Haley, and appreciate the opportunity here. I love the names of your business and appreciate the opportunity to just sit down and talk about one of those subjects that really nobody wants to talk about as much there. Myself, I always find it easier to talk about other folks than myself, but we're starting our 4th year in business here in Gillette, Wyoming. Okay. We were very blessed and very fortunate to take over after Betsy Jones retired from Farmers Union Insurance. Okay. That's kind of the start. So actually Farmers Union Insurance is kind of our I would say our mothership, if you would. Okay. But at the end of the day, we offer many companies. So we are a very large offering independent agency through our group. So I think that's a big benefit for us, but most importantly for our customers and our clients there. So, as rates change, things change, life changes, we have options. Okay. So we have more options. But yeah, so we've been here 4 years, again, blessed to have the opportunity to take over the Farmers Union business. It was Betsy Jones here. We are in the Visionary building here on Douglas Highway. Great location there, and Farmers Union has a long history in this building. I think over 20. But I guess I'll just go back if it's not too far. 2007 is actually.
So we're going back a little way.
A little bit, yeah. So that's when I decided to get into the insurance world. Okay. And just real briefly, I was working for a national company. I was on the road. I was the road warrior, wearing out a pickup every year, flying, gone Monday through Friday, etc. And one day I went in to do my annual insurance review with my insurance agent. And I made the statement to them that I said, man, it looks like, this looks like a good business, a good thing. And I said, I'd be interested if there was ever an opportunity, for someone to contact me. And lo and behold, about 2 months later, I got a call, I got contact, and here we are today in 2024. Now, in between, I took a few years off, and COVID, as unfortunate as COVID was, that actually brought me back to the business. My wife, Angel, God bless her. We were visiting and it's like, what did you like to do? What did you enjoy doing?
So what were you doing 4 years ago before you kind of got back into it?
Yep. Very good question. We spent some time in the construction world, went out and drove truck, just kind of, like I said, it took a little break and Haley, I just kind of cleared my head for a little while. Okay.
I get that. Yeah. I did that like the last year.
So again, I have to thank COVID. And there's not many people that thank COVID for a lot, but I do thank it for, the conversation that my wife Angel and I had, bringing us back into the business. Okay. And I guess the thing that I enjoy so much about the business is being able to help people. Okay. And working with the clients, that's what keeps me going every day, every morning, as well as our staff. We're blessed. We've got a great staff here now.
So how many staff members do you have?
Right now we've got 2 full-time here. And one of those is our licensed office manager, Sarah Hodges. And then Amber Harris has just been with us for about 3 months. And ladies are doing an awesome job. And then, of course, my wife, Angel, she does the HR side, pays the bills. Probably the most important job, pays the bills. But so yeah, that's kind of our staff, and we just try to have fun at work.
Okay.
With all of us here, and then just take care of our clients, take care of our friends. Okay, a lot of our clients become friends, and our friends become clients. Okay,
Right.
and currently, right now at this point, I mean, we're almost 100% referral business.
Oh,
Okay,
that's impressive.
Yes, and thank you. Google has been very good to us, but there's also been a lot of clients that have been very good to us, with 5-star reviews and things that of that nature. So that's been really awesome. And again, we just thank the clients, for the opportunity to work for them and to serve them. Our business model, if you would say, or kind of our tagline, and that is, and how we conduct our business is, we just want to treat others the way we'd like to be treated.
The golden rule.
Absolutely. Yep. And, I mean, things can get so complex and so complicated with insurance,
Oh, I understand that
absolutely.
completely. We
Yep.
have numerous policies. And one thing
Yeah.
that I will say about insurance agents is that you really, really have to have that like no trust factor.
Yeah.
It is hard to just jump ship and go to a new agency
Yep.
without having, like you said, the 5-star reviews
Yep.
or
Yep.
the good referrals. And it sounds like you guys are really capitalizing on that.
Well, we're sure trying each and every day. And again, I have to give the kudos out to the customers, and the clients. I mean, they're absolutely what makes our business. That's what drives our business. That's what, luckily, I mean, I wake up every morning employed. Okay. And, I mean, I've been, not to brag or anything, but I've been a member of the 5 a.m. club for many more years than I'd like to remember. But I wake up and I mean, I have employment.
Yes.
Okay. So I have friends, I have people to take care of, and try to take care of their needs, and, help them through claims, and, just navigate through life, business needs and things of that nature. So, it's awesome. I mean, if you really enjoy what you're doing, you never work. Okay. It's not a job. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I really believe our staff feels very much the same way. Granted, we all are like everyone. We have to pay our bills. So we do have to have, an income of some kind. But at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, all the glory to the clients.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Without them, you wouldn't be operational.
Absolutely.
So speaking of clients, what type of policies do you guys offer then?
Great question. Thank you. Haley, we are a multi-line agency. Okay. So we offer home insurance, we offer auto insurance, dwelling insurance, commercial business insurance, farm and ranch coverage. We do a limited amount of crop hail insurance, like the pasture range 4-H PRF insurance.
Especially here, there's not a lot of that to offer.
Yeah,
we don't have as many crops as where I grew up at least.
Yeah, not a lot of corn acres.
No, no, definitely not.
Yeah. So those items, and of course, we offer life insurance, limited amount of investment products such as annuities. Okay, anything that is like mutual funds, stock market. We're not in that area there, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The insurance world has been changing so much. It's changed so much since 2007 when I got my licenses and started, but even more so just in the last couple of years.
Oh, it's so much as.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So many changes. Good, bad, all the above. Yeah, it's been a challenging time for clients.
Yeah.
But, also it's been a challenging time for all agents, not just our office, all agents out there and the staff, to deal through that. We've had, we actually have a 3-ring binder that we have to keep track of all of the changes with companies. So underwriting changes and things there, something I've never experienced, in my time in the business. And that's just kind of an indication of what is going on. And I know folks that are, listening, watching today, they know that firsthand. They've gotten their information in the mail. There's been changes and things there. By far, no doubt everybody has experienced that.
Oh, absolutely. So has all of the changes coming from your carrier companies, has that made your business model have to change, have to pivot?
Um, yes, I think we've had to change, adjust, and pivot. Not drastically, Haley, but we have.
Yeah.
Okay, we've had to make some. We've had to steer the ship a little bit more than maybe possibly in the first year or two. Okay, and a lot of that is just because of, as I was touching on earlier, underwriting changes. We have been fortunate with the lineup of companies that are in our group. Okay, we have not had any companies pull out of areas or even states, which I know folks are getting things in the mail that their company is leaving the state, they're non-renewing, they're done doing business. They're like, hey,
That happened to us 2 years ago, I believe.
yeah. So firsthand,
Mhm.
and
It's frustrating.
it is.
As a
It is.
consumer, it's so frustrating because you're like,
Yeah.
I've used this company, I like their rates, I know
Mhm.
that they'll cover me,
Mhm.
and then poof, they're gone.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it is business. Okay. Is it right? Is it wrong? I can't answer to that. But that's a decision that they've made. And I will just say, there's been so many things driving this. There's been, and we see it in the industry, in the news now, all of the losses, all of the catastrophic events, all of the things.
Yeah,
Okay?
it has seen, especially like Mother Nature's been kind of pissed off lately.
Oh, it has been. Yeah. She is reminding us who is in charge and who is the boss. And it's not just, we always think about Haley. We always think about California. We always think about, Florida and places like that. But, I think everybody can just step back for a moment and think about the last 2 to 3 years in our area.
Oh, yeah.
Right here in Campbell County, northeastern Wyoming, in this area. We've had a lot of hail.
We've had hail.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
had droughts. We've had fires.
Yep. Lots of things. And then to, accidents, and all of the things that happen. So we talked about the great things that happened for us as far as coming to the business and the opportunity we were presented with COVID.
Yep.
Okay. So now I will say COVID had a terrible effect on a lot of things.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah. No secret there.
And I feel like we're still seeing some of them effects that are just starting to rear their head now.
Yep. Yeah. And it's just been kind of an ongoing kind of a ripple effect, there. And of course, I know that we're not supposed to have any inflation right now, but we all know when we go to the grocery store, what a dozen of eggs and a gallon of milk and, what the cart used to look like and what it looks like now.
Well, the one thing is I was at Walmart yesterday. I don't typically go to Walmart, but I was there and I needed a vacuum. That's why. But I bought one of them little heart candies for my kids.
Right.
And it was $1.25. And I'm like, this has been $1.
Oh, yeah.
As long as I can remember, but not this year. It was $1.25. So you can't tell me inflation ain't happening.
Absolutely. Well, just go to the dollar store.
Oh, exactly. It's not a dollar store anymore.
Yeah.
It's $1.25 store.
Yeah. And it was not that long ago. And I've been trying to cut back on caffeine, for numerous reasons. But used to go drive through at McDonald's, and I'm not plugging McDonald's, just using them for an example. Great lady in the morning early there, Sue. She's wonderful. So I'd like coffee. I'd go through. Used to get coffee for $1. Okay. Then it was $1.05, and then it just crept up. I think the last time I stopped here in the last few days, it was like $1.35 or something for a coffee. And that's just black hot coffee.
Just plain coffee.
Yeah. So I mean, the inflation has had its impacts. But when we talk on from the insurance side of it, just not very many years ago, really, we would have clients that would have a deer collision, there, and front end damage on a vehicle. Okay, lots of those claims, they might be $5,000 to $8,000.
Yep.
Just a couple of years ago. Okay. Now we're looking at 12,000 seems to be like the minimum, and they're going upwards of 19,000, for that same type of claim. Okay. What happened? Okay. COVID, inflation.
Yes.
I know we don't have inflation, but inflation happened. The supply chain, it's costing more to repair things. The labor cost, trying to find labor, that's another topic in itself. But that, and then getting parts. I mean, folks are having to wait 4 months, 6 months, 9 months, year, to get things repaired because of the lack of inventory of parts and different things there. So, I mean, there's just so many things that are going on. And then too, liability claims, folks get hurt in accidents and things there, what those claims used to be compared to what they are now. I mean, those have increased substantially along with everything. And, at the end of the day, everything has just gotten so much more expensive. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but the insurance companies, I mean, they have to run a business. They look at it and it's like, we can't sustain this.
Right.
Okay.
We can only eat so many costs before we have to make adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there is the age old thing. It's like, well, insurance companies are just about making money and they're all big, rich conglomerates, et cetera there. Well, yes and no. Okay. Yes. And I've never been afraid to tell anybody that the insurance companies are in business to make money. Okay. Every business
you are in it to make money, or it's a hobby. It's not a business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the reason why the insurance companies do that, I mean, they want to guarantee that they can pay your claims, they can pay my claims there, and guarantee their claims paying abilities. And just recently I read something and like the national average on loss ratio was like 112%. Okay. So that means, Haley, for every dollar of premium you send to an insurance company, they're paying out $1.12.
Yeah.
Okay. So now stop for a second, take that example, pull those boots on, and then take off and run that business.
Right.
What do you do?
It's a price increase.
Yeah.
I mean, that's step number one.
Yeah. Yeah. So right or wrong, it is what it is. It's no different than we have to go down and buy the groceries, when we have to buy the gas at the pump, we buy the tires. I'm not picking on anything, but it's just reality, what has happened out there. So will we see some improvement? Oh, mercy, I hope we do.
Same.
Yeah. But, I think it's going to be slow coming. I am very optimistic, that now we're in February. So we've got 2023 closed out. It takes until almost the end of the first quarter of the new year to know where they were at for the previous year.
Yeah, okay. Which would make sense. I mean, there's a lot of data that you have to assess and reports that you have to run and claims that you have to finish up. And that would make sense.
Yep. So I am, I guess, trying to be an optimist and hope that 2023 is going to close out better than they thought or hoped. Okay. And then also on top of that, at that point, we've almost completed the first quarter of 2024. Okay. So hopefully we're favorable in that. Okay. If we can couple those two things together, then companies are going to look at it and it's like, okay, we're heading in the right direction. Okay?
Right.
We had to make some, kind of drastic changes there, but we couldn't sustain spending $1.12 for every dollar that comes in. Can't do it. Okay. I don't care if you're in the ranching business or if you're in the oil field business or in the insurance business, it doesn't work. Okay. But anyway, so hopefully there's going to start being, hopefully we can see some relaxing of some of these things. Will we see huge premium decreases? I don't know about that. But hopefully it would relax some of the potential deductible changes, moratoriums on new business. There's a lot of companies that won't write new business currently. Okay. And so the insurance companies, in a sense, they're doing the same with insurance on writing new business, much like the feds are doing with the interest rates. Okay. The feds are tapping the brakes, on things to try to slow down the inflation and that's why the rates are up. Okay. Insurance is kind of doing something similar. Okay. They're just slowing down the new business. They're getting a hold on things, and then moving forward. Okay. So hopefully, just like the interest rates, on the Fed side, hopefully we'll see some help in the future. Okay. Yeah. It's going to take some improvement on the economy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but so kind of a quick 101 in some of the whys.
Right.
It's not because John and the staff need to go on a trip. haven't been on one in quite a while now. Different things there. I mean, it's just so that hopefully they can pay your and your husband's claim. They can pay my wife and I's claims and all of our clients and friends out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big part of it. So
Oh, it is for sure.
Mhm.
So 4 years of business, and in them 4 years, we've seen a lot of uncertainty in the economy. We've seen a lot of change.
Yep.
So I know we kind of touched on how that's affected your business, but
Mhm.
I like to ask this question because I kind of feel like it's, the entrepreneurial way of hazing.
Mhm.
Have you ever had that? I don't know if I can keep the doors open. I have no idea how I'm going to sustain this. I don't know what the heck I was thinking when I decided to do this moment in your business.
Yeah. In the last 4 years, I would say no, I haven't had that. Okay. And back in 2007, I probably had some of those feelings.
Yeah.
Because it was a whole totally brand new. That was a great part of this opportunity. I had previous experience.
Yep.
Okay. In the business, running an agency, multiple offices, managing, et cetera, which helped. But still, there's and I think any and all of anybody that's listening and watching, the program, anybody that's an entrepreneur, a self-employed business owner, and that, I mean, it's, you always worry every day.
Oh, every day.
And you see trends and things there. I mean, I will say, about a year and a half ago, when we still had some decent interest rates before the interest rates changed, I mean, we were writing homeowners insurance policies like nobody's business.
I remember that. That's when all the big refinances were happening too, because we jumped on that ship.
Yep, all of that. And then as soon as the rates changed, I mean, it's just like somebody reached up and pulled the lever and just put a stop on it. Okay. And now we're blessed with some of our relationships and stuff out there and things that are going on. I mean, we still write a lot of home insurance, but nothing like what it was. Okay.
So maybe not so much like I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, but maybe more of okay, well, this is drying up, so we need to change avenues and we need to maybe double down and talk to these customers.
Yep. And we have absolutely been trying to get together with folks. I mean, there's a lot of folks that we've been able to get together with and review policies. There's a lot of folks that we haven't been able to sit down and get together with there yet. We'd like to try to get through everybody's policy every other year and renew go through a review process, sit down and go through them, because I mean, all of us in 2 years, usually something changes a little bit, in our life. And then we want to make sure that, there hasn't been something change, in whether it's a business policy, a home policy, or what it is there, and take care of those and just stay in touch, with the folks there. It does challenge every business out there. I will say just from our business here, the volume of clients that we have, it is a challenge each and every day we start every day with goals, and this is what we would like to achieve today, and that always changes there. So I mean, it's just it's not a cookie cutter, cut and dried scenario, where you can just come in. It's like, okay, I want to do these 10 things today, and at the end of the day, you got them completed. Many times we don't.
No.
Okay. Because I mean, the phone doesn't stop ringing. The door, folks are coming in, and I mean, we'll have 3, 4, 5 deep in the reception area, and but no, it's been a great opportunity. And we have made some minor reactions, I guess, like on the home there where the rates have changed and stuff there. We have tried to work on probably a little stronger focus into some of the commercial business coverages there. The PRF, the pasture range forage product that I talked about just very briefly, into that, a little bit more life insurance, and just kind of trying to round out the clients' portfolio, if you would say, for their protection. Okay. And it's been really nice. And I'll kind of, I guess, key in for just a second or a moment on that PRF, that pasture range forage program.
And who's that for?
That is actually for the farmers and ranchers.
Okay, that's what I was assuming, but you never know.
Great question. No, that is, and basically it is it's based on rainfall index.
Okay.
And
that's funny living here.
Yeah, and we all know in northeastern Wyoming, southeastern Montana, and western Dakotas, this is not a high rainfall area.
Oh.
Okay, and again, Mother Nature has told us last few years, I'm still in charge. I give you hailstorms, I give you this. She's given us a really open winter this winter, but we're all worried about the moisture.
Yes, we are.
Okay. And it sounds like you and your husband ranch, and a lot of our folks, I mean, we're not feeding a lot of hay right now. But what are we going to have for grass?
Precisely.
Are we gonna have a hay crop? What's that going to be? This has been a great program. I mean, we've had clients that I think last year, and we had good areas that got moisture and things there, but we've had some areas. I mean, we had clients getting checks over $26,000.
Oh, wow.
That helps there. Does it really take care of things? Not 100%, but it definitely helps. I mean, anytime 26,
that's a lot of hay.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of hay to make up for grazing grant that you lost.
Exactly. And anytime a check shows up in the mail to you for $26,000, I mean, that's a great thing. Yeah, that's $26,000 less that you have to talk to a bank about or draw out of your business account. So I mean, it is a good program. It is through Rain and Hail. Great company. They've been in that business for a lot of years. Very good. We're happy to be part of them, represent them. It is backed by the federal government. Okay, it is a subsidized program, so really beneficial to the ranchers out there because the government basically pays half of the premium.
Okay.
And so I mean, we've got clients there that get a PRF policy in place. At the end of the year, they've received $26,000 and never had to pay $1 of premium.
Oh, geez.
That's
unheard of.
It is. That just meant it was dry.
Right.
Okay, so it wasn't all good.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember that year well.
Yep. And I grew up on a ranch in southeastern Montana between Broadus and Alzada, Montana. Kind of right in the middle of the gumbo and God's country, if you would say. And we saw some dry years there for sure, and we saw some great years there too as well. But it's tough business.
It is
tough business. Greatest place in the world to raise your family.
Oh, I would agree with that statement completely.
It is a tough business. So not for the faint of heart, for sure.
Yes.
But so that's a great program, and definitely, I guess that back to the pivot, we did pivot into quite a bit more of that.
Yep.
I do have some passion and interest, strong interest from, like I said, being born and raised, and actually was part of the ranch operation for a number of years. So, I mean, I gravitate that direction, with those type of folks by far. So, nothing like going out to a ranch and visiting with folks, helping them do a little something there, and go in for a cup of coffee and piece of pie, piece of cake. Oh, guys, you better stay for lunch. And no better cooks out there,
right?
So. Anyways, but my waistline proves that. So, anyways,
great such
folks.
Is life.
Great folks. Yeah.
Such is life.
Yeah. Yeah. But Haley, we just want to, keep helping folks. I guess the way we look at it is, like I said earlier, we operate the business on, we want to treat folks how we'd like to be treated, and we don't worry about money. Okay. That all takes care of itself. I mean, doesn't really matter what industry or business per se, or that you're in. If you just try to help people and do the best job that you can for folks, everything else takes care of itself. Okay. And so anyways, I mean, we don't come to work every day, thinking, well, geez, we have to sell this much, or we have to do this much. I mean, we take care of the clients and the rest takes care of itself.
Yeah.
There. And it really does.
Yeah.
And I know that's a topic that gets thrown out a lot, and some folks maybe believe it, some don't, but I fully believe it because we experience it each and every day.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So social media is huge in the world right now.
It is.
So I don't know what your customer average age is or anything, but to get into your younger demographic, they're all on social media.
Yes.
So do you guys utilize social media anyway, or how do you promote your business besides word of mouth, which we've already talked about?
Right. Yeah. No, great question. I'm 56 years old. We've got Facebook, personal there.
Do you exist if you don't have a Facebook?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you have to there. And yeah, because and it's great, I mean, it's just like everything. And I'll liken Facebook and the country people will appreciate this. Okay. Facebook is much like a hot shot. Okay. It's a great tool in the right hands, a terrible tool in the wrong hands. Okay. And so, anyways.
So if you don't know what a hot shot is, it's something you use on cattle, and it's like an electrode that zaps them. So you don't give a hot shot to a 2-year-old because you're going to end up getting zapped in the butt.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and if you got somebody out in the trails that's having a bad day, and I mean, whatever, probably not the best person to have the hot shot. So. But yeah,
you give them the rattle paddle.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what we've looked at it there. Yes, we do have a personal page. We get a little bit of business stuff on there. We actually, and that might be one of the things that we're going to pivot into a lot more of this year in 2024 is, trying to enlarge our social media footprint there through different things. Now, we have been very blessed on Google, has been awesome for us. Okay. And again, that goes back to the clients, thank you to the clients. I mean, 5-star reviews and the activity and stuff there, I mean, we've moved up a long ways on the, the search engine, all those things there. So yeah, definitely. We're going to implement more social media, Google type things. And that we actually did for the first time in 4 years, started some radio ads this year.
Hey guys, we're going to jump into an ad real quick. Listen now, I love to shop for clothes, but I also love to be seen when I am shopping, like I am an actual person. Well, the Clothesline Boutique in Gillette, Wyoming has amazing clothes along with top-notch customer service. Kayla always has new items and videos to go along with them, so if I'm shopping online, I can know exactly what size I need to order. And just for you guys, she's giving you 25% off of your first order. Heck yes. So search the Clothesline on your app store. And when you check out, use code WELCOME and you are going to save. Again, search the Clothesline on your app store. And when you check out, use code WELCOME and you will save 25% off of your order.
There, and actually a very good friend client with the local radio station. And so again, clients, friends, clients. We're trying to do some different things out there, just to stay in touch with folks because it is ever changing.
It is.
I mean, Facebook was the large social media, then Snapchat, then TikTok, then, all of the others. And it's like, where do you go? Where do you be?
So where are your clients?
Yeah.
That's where you go. I mean,
exactly.
And that's a whole different beast because you can constantly be chasing the trend. Yeah. And I actually just had this conversation with my mom. Like, where is this business's customers at? Like, who is your ideal customer? Because you have to go to them instead of chasing all of the trends.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great topic. I mean, we haven't as a whole here in our organization, and myself in particular, have never been big on chasing trends. Okay. There, I like what's tried and true, proven and tested. Okay. Now we get new products, we get new offerings. Yes. And, we try to research those and look at things there. But yeah, there are a lot of, so many times new, companies use new, everything is new. They didn't really change much. They just, put new on that. So we're not so big about that, but it is challenging to try to stay up on top of it. And, it's interesting. I mean, Facebook, for example, and, not plugging, downing there, whatever, but Facebook, there's a lot of younger folks. There's a lot of middle-aged folks. Lots of older folks.
Yes.
It's amazing. I mean,
it is. My grandpa's 93 and he has Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. And what a great thing, for them to be able to keep track of kids, family, grandkids.
And that's exactly what he has it for, is to just see what the kids and the grandkids are up to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, all of those things. And then, somebody had some success at something, they can share that. I think that's great. Folks, I mean, a lot of folks that we know go south, so-and-so made some money at a roping. Hey, they want to saddle, and, just neat things like that.
Right.
So,
well, and it helps remember who your whole tribe is. Cause when I launched this podcast, I work from home. I kind of get like in my own head of my day-to-day operations, and I just go through the motions and I get my stuff done. But when I launched this, it made my heart so happy to see all the people that were rooting for me and shared it and were excited for me.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
It's definitely good to share your wins with people on.
It is. And, and that's something, and I think you touched on a great subject there, Haley. And I think folks need to remind themselves out the business or where they're at and what they're doing. Don't ever doubt yourself. There's more people that you have no idea about that will support you and want to support you and want to see you be successful. Okay. And so, I mean, I guess I would just say it to anybody out there, that has any doubts or anything there, if they're in business, thinking about going into business, don't worry about naysayers or that, you have no idea the people that want to support.
Well, there are people that you haven't even met yet that are rooting for you. That will be your number one customers, and you don't even know them yet.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And, and it's so much, I guess for us, we try to do a lot of business as old school as we can. Okay. Our word, a handshake, means everything. And, unfortunately in this era, the contracts have to be involved. Okay. But I think at the end of the day, we are so blessed to live here in Wyoming, Montana, Dakota's there, live and raise our families and do business where we're at, because we live in the best place. We live with the best people. And I don't know, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Right.
I mean,
we definitely still have old school values here.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank goodness. I mean, absolutely. And there's people, I mean, I can think of, just in your area in Rosette, I mean, some families there that, absolutely old school values and things there. And I would just take just a second there. I sure want to send our thoughts and prayers from all of our family and everybody in that to the Birch family with George Ann's passing and that. So we sure wish our best and thoughts and prayers with, the whole Birch family.
I've seen it when I'm scrolling on my cell phone. Like, if I didn't have this on video, there's no way my insurance agent would believe me that this happened.
Right.
So I have to know. I need some stories. I gotta know what claims have you seen come across your desk where you're either one like this, I can see the fish on the desk, this looks so fishy, or like, I can't believe this happened, but I know you, so I believe it happened.
Yeah. And there are, I mean, absolutely. We all watch television, okay, from time to time and whatever there. And, I mean, a lot of that stuff is made up, but there's a lot of that same stuff that happens in real life. Okay. I mean, just odd, crazy, wild, different things there. Probably one of the most unique claims, and this was actually on a ranch that involved livestock. Okay. We had a ranch insured. We had livestock coverage on the livestock. Okay. And they had yearling cattle out in the pasture. All right. And they were trailing down the fence on both sides. Okay. There happened to be, I think there was a gate open ahead of them or something there, whatever the case was. But there was cattle on both sides of the fence. Lightning struck somewhere, hit that fence, came out, and I think there was 12 or 14 head of yearlings died. From
touching the fence.
They weren't even touching it.
Oh my gosh.
They were trailing alongside of it. And the pictures, they were just tipped over.
That's insane.
And I mean, it's something that you can't hardly imagine, I mean, growing up and stuff as a kid and through my life, I mean, we've all seen animals that have been lightning struck dead out in the pasture. They were too close to a power line, possibly a tree or something out there. But, this was out in the middle of open country. And so that was probably one of the most unique ones there. We haven't had lots of terrible auto accidents. We haven't had lots of terrible fires and things of that nature. I mean, we've had those, but we haven't had the horrific, accidents there. And fortunately, Yeah, everybody's been good. Yeah, so there hasn't been great stories, to share
Right.
on that. But and that brings up something there. I mean, I'm talking about claims, so we've had those experiences, but there is absolutely insurance fraud is on the rise,
Mm-hmm.
big time. Okay, we've had some, limited experiences, I'm going to say, with potentially that. Okay, in situations. But again, I'm going to give a lot of credit to the clients that we deal with. And like you said, Haley, we're still in a part of the world where there's some values in
Mm-hmm.
that. But I mean, we look at, statistics, reports that come and stuff there. I mean, the insurance fraud is on the raise, extremely high. And yeah, I mean, and here in the office, we get folks that, they come in and, gosh, I got to get my car license. So the first thing I got to have is insurance. Okay. And, get a month's worth of insurance, go to get the license, and they never pay the insurance again. Okay. And, so unfortunately it's a terrible thing, but out there right now in the world, there's a lot of people driving with no insurance or just the state minimums, that the state of Wyoming would ask us to carry. And, it is well over 40%.
Oh, that's scary.
Yep. So the next time you're driving down the street or down the highway or wherever it is, and let's say interstate, doesn't matter, there you meet 10 vehicles, guess which of those 4 probably have none. Okay.
And that's something I always tell my kids. They're at that age. They're 7 and 9. Actually, one of your grandsons is in the same class as my daughter.
Very good.
And they always ask, Mom, do we have to buckle up? And I'm like, yes, you have to buckle up. It's not me I'm worried about.
Yeah.
It's the other people on the road.
Absolutely. Yep. And that is one thing, and we talked about social media just not very long ago there. Okay. And smartphones. That's one thing that scares me, just driving around in a lot of areas. And I mean, they are on that phone. And there's been so many times I wanted to honk and I was scared to death that they would do this or this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, is anything that important, that it can't wait until you get up to your stop.
Right.
And that, to check on. I mean, yeah. So, and if it is truly that important, please pull over.
Right.
Be safe for yourself and your passengers and the other drivers out there. It's just crazy.
Right. So I have a funny story for you.
Okay.
Do you remember the commercial? She burnt down her she shed.
Oh, yes.
Guess who burnt down her she shed?
Maybe you?
Yeah. Well, I didn't technically burn it down, but we have a detached garage at our house.
Right.
It was my workshop back when I still owned my previous business and I would make letters. So I would take all of my wood scraps and I would throw them into garbage cans. And then I would use them in the wintertime to heat the shed with the wood stove.
Yep.
Well, it was the first cold day and I started the fire. And, it was warm when I worked in there, and I went to town later that day and I bought wood, and then I had my husband help me unload it, and he went out without me. He opened up the door and just poof, a fireball. And he goes and reaches to put his finger on the garage door opener to open it, and his finger went through it. So he just shuts the door, nonchalantly walks back to the house, not runs, I mind you, walks. He opens up the door. Hey, Haley, I need your help with something. You should come fast. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Turns the hose on, walks back down to the shed and starts spraying it. And I get down there and I'm a high-strung individual. And I'm like, what's going on? And I freak out and he's in there, hunched down with the hose trying to get it. And I had just listened to a book and it had a fire in it and they busted out the windows. So that's the first thing that pops into my head.
Right.
So I grab a shovel and I'm busting out the windows on the garage door. Little did I know that he was right there. So then the gas falls all over him. It only burnt the interior of it. And insurance was good to work with on that one. And actually it had some tall, skinny windows in there and we replaced them with some big windows.
Sure.
But what had happened was all of that wood that I had thrown in the garbage cans, I left too close to the wood stove and it just kindled. And then when he opened up the door, it just So I burnt down my she shed. My brother-in-law and husband laughed at that for a long time.
Yeah, that's well, sorry you had the experience, but thanks for sharing the story. And glad you had insurance.
Yes,
that took care of
exactly. And they did. They took care of us.
Yeah. And that's what it's for. That's what insurance is for, is that type of stuff there. And I guess we talked just briefly about insurance fraud and what's going on out there. insurance is, the whole concept and purpose of insurance is to indemnify. Okay. It's all based around indemnification. Okay. We want to make people whole again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or their property. We want to make it whole again there. And it was never designed to be, Haley, it was never designed to be a maintenance program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, there's kind of a thought process to some degree out there in the world that, hey, I'll just turn this in on my insurance.
Right.
Okay. There. And, just one that comes to mind. I mean, client turned in a claim, they got $466 paid. Okay, is all they got paid out of it after their deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of is like, hey, maybe we shouldn't, but they kind of insisted. So, and we worked for the client.
Right.
Okay, so we did it. And, now there's been some underwriting changes
Mm-hmm.
because, and there was a claim or two ahead of that. But, we need to use it. I guess it's kind of like having a great relationship with your bank,
Right.
and your personal banker, your loan officer. Let's have that relationship, and let's have it for the hard times, the big times.
Right.
Okay. There, there's just some stuff that we need to pay out of pocket.
Right.
Okay. Kind of save the equity for the down the road, the big issue, where I burned down
You burned down your shoe shed.
Yeah. That, so, because there's going to be big ones. And I mean, we live here where we live. We're going to get hailstorms. We're going to get deer. We're going to hit antelope, or they're going to hit us, however it works out, so life happens. So,
right. And that's something that actually I had wrote in my notes that I wanted to talk to you about is so not only are we seeing prices going up on the policies, we're seeing prices going up on the deductibles. Our region has got so much hail damage that our policy changed to now it's you have your deductible and you have 5% of whatever the damages are to replace.
Yeah.
So that can be so frustrating, especially as a consumer.
Oh,
for me, it's frustrating because you have to have insurance, but you're not supposed to use it unless it's something big.
Yeah.
So you've been in business 4 years now. What advice or suggestions do you have on the best way to go about this and keep your costs low and just navigating the system in general?
Yeah, great question. And there's been a ton of changes that have happened. And without a doubt, there's been changes of deductibles. Okay.
Yes.
The all perils deductible, is raised and increased. Percentage deductibles. I try as hard as I can to stay away from percentage deductibles. Okay. Now we have to have some with some of the companies that we work with. But as a rule, I would personally try to stay away from them. Okay. Because basically, like at 5% deductibles, like you mentioned there, I mean, if you have a $200,000 home, that's a $2,000 deductible. Okay. Basically, they just said, here, fix the roof yourself. And I would like to try to not have folks in that situation. But sometimes that is where it ends up. Okay. So all of that being said, as I spoke earlier, we'd like to try to review everybody's policy every other year.
And I know as a consumer, when that gets done for us and our insurance company that we've used, they always find places that we need to move. And it makes me feel valued as a customer.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And that's our job. I mean, we're working for the client. We're working for you, the customer. Okay. And again, I bring that back to us being really a large independent. Okay. The offering that we have the ability to look towards other companies. Now, some of that has been, I'm going to say has been hamstrung, but we also have them that are 1%, 2%, or just a flat 2,500, so I mean, we try to place business into what works best.
Right.
Okay. And so, I mean, that's what we try to do. And just stay in touch with it as best you can. Okay. You're busy. We get busy. I mean, you get overwhelmed at home. We also get overwhelmed here. And, So I mean, try to stay in touch with it every 2 or 3 years, and get through it. That's one of the things I'm optimistic that hopefully there's going to be some of that on our horizon. I don't think it's going to be huge, but every little bit helps. I mean, if we can whittle 100 off here or 300 off there, I mean, that just helps.
It does. It adds up.
Yeah. And insurances went up, and just to, I guess, kind of something else on that subject, we get a lot of calls. Okay. It's like, man, all of a sudden my escrow, my payment went up a lot. The insurance went up, and it did, but also too, watch your property taxes. Okay. Because when you get right down into it, yes, there's been insurance premium increases, but there's been some pretty substantial property tax increases, so it's been I hate to say it's been a double whammy on folks. I mean, all of it included there that, we're paying higher insurance premium. We're paying more in property taxes. And then if we're looking at a new purchase, we're paying a lot more in interest. Okay? And, we've been through it before. We've survived. We've came out of it. We just have to try to stay positive, keep that glass half full if you can. And, we're going to get there. Yeah, exactly. And, we're going to get there. I mean, everything is so very cyclical. I mean, it runs in cycles. Okay. And, we're going to see some improvement. I wish I could dial down, put my finger on those improvements.
Right.
But, we're going to, because I'm a firm believer that the sun's going to come up somewhere tomorrow. We may not see so much here in Gillette or other places, but it's going to come up tomorrow. Thank goodness that we're not, we live where we live. I'd still try to maintain a positive attitude if I was waking up in the Middle East, with the sunshine and waking up, but that's not where I want to live. So anyways, we still live in the best place in the world.
Yeah.
There.
So do you think, I mean, the economy will right itself. It always does. It might take some time.
Yep.
Interest rates will come down.
They
Everything will kind of level out.
Yep.
But do you think that we will see a decrease in rates, or is this the new normal? I know I had to go there, didn't I?
Yeah, and that is, and I think we used to say that's $1 million question.
Right.
Almost the billions in claims and losses and that type of stuff. I'm going to still try to keep that glass half full. Be that optimist that we're going to see some decrease there, but also too, I'm going to have to come at it as a realist as well. This is going to be part of the new norm, unfortunately, I'm afraid there. And just like, for example, some clients, we're in contact with them, their renewal was coming up, and it's like, well, we saw a little increase on that. And I said, well, we'll work on it, and set an appointment, have them come into the office. And at the end of the day, they had such a modest increase. I mean, way under 10%. Okay. And, we had ran it with a couple other different companies there, and we absolutely could not find anything better,
right,
or less money. And it's like, hey, you need to stay right here. You're in the best place that you're at right now in comparison to A, B, C, and D that we've laid out here. So, unfortunately, I'm hopeful and optimistic that we're going to see some decreases, and we'll see some of some kind, but also too, on the realist side of it, it is becoming the norm there. The days of, and I guess what I'm driving at there, the days of the $500 deductible on a homeowner's policy, probably gone.
Oh yeah. That's gone.
Yeah. And probably too on the auto side, they still offer $250 deductibles, but it comes with a higher premium.
It does.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's insurance definitely is about a transfer of risk, and right or wrong, a lot of the risk is getting transferred back to us as clients. Okay. Because of what's going on. And, it comes back to that 112% issue.
Right.
Okay. There, so it doesn't matter what business you're in, you just have to try to sustain your business there. That being said, there's no insurance companies that are going broke. Okay. They just really don't go broke.
Right.
Okay. What happens is they're purchased by another company, and most everybody has seen that, had a personal experience with that, they used to be with company XY, and, they were bought by company CD, and, that's kind of where that ends up. So, I guess what I would want to reassure folks there is the companies that are out there, they're not going away in that sense. They're in good shape there to not go broke. Okay. They may have a new name. They might operate underneath of a different flag or a banner now, potentially. And then to the last part of that, and I won't go into great detail, but insurance companies, actually, they also they purchase insurance for the backside
Uh-huh.
for themselves. Okay. For those huge events and disasters. Okay. So that in the event that something terrible, terrible, terrible happens and they ran out of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That insurance that they purchase guarantees they can pay your claim, my claim, and their policyholders' claims. Well, as with all of this stuff, the inflation has also, and the amount of losses and things there, that has made that product that the insurance companies has to purchase become much more expensive. Okay. So unfortunately, everything is passed on.
It is.
I mean, insurance cost is passed on to the consumer. The cost of a dozen eggs, a gallon of milk, gallon of gas, those things, we just have to make our choices and decisions. And I really, I wish I had a magic wand and I could change it.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's like one of them superpowers I would love to have.
Exactly. Yeah. Put a cape on and away we go. But I just feel bad for the folks that are on fixed incomes.
Yeah.
I mean, that has affected them. I mean, insurance costs, property taxes have gone up, the cost of everything at the store, and you see advertisements and stuff on TV, about folks making a choice of doing this or this. There is a reality to that out there. Okay. So, I guess, and to probably kind of close that subject out, yes, insurance is expensive. Okay. And can be expensive. The risk of not having insurance, or like on auto insurance, having that state minimum, okay, that Wyoming asks us to all carry. For example, property damage is really low, like $20,000 is all the property damage coverage there is. Okay. So if that individual is in an accident and they're at fault, okay, and let's say that person that they were in the accident with is driving one of these $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 vehicles, 20,000 doesn't go very far repairing an $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 vehicle. Okay. So to the person that has that vehicle, their value is in their uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Okay. So they're going to be covered. Okay. Kind of regardless whether they're underinsured or uninsured. So that's there. But, at the end of the day, if insurance wasn't there, then that person's going to have to try, that's had the damage, is going to have to go after that person. Hey, I got to fix my $80,000 vehicle. I'm not going to do that out of pocket. Okay. There's been a lot more, lawsuits and different things out there in the world. Unfortunately, all we have to do is turn on our national television news, and pretty quick, if you use like a Denver station, doesn't matter the towns, after a time or two of watching it, you're going to know most of the personal injury attorneys in that town because they're advertising like crazy. And that's what it is. So that's kind of becoming part of our new norm also. And I don't like that. I mean, the world has become as dependent, upon that situation and suing people. So it's their right, I guess.
Right.
But, I've never been a strong supporter of it. So
what do you see, like the insurance industry as a whole? What's the biggest struggle that they're facing right now?
Without a doubt, right now, the biggest struggle all of the companies are facing is profitability. Okay. And I know that's people are going to probably hear that, they're making all kinds of money. They're not. Okay. It comes back to that 112% loss ratio. Okay. So the sooner the companies can get back to a picture of profitability, that's when we can start seeing some relaxing, of deductibles, requirements, premium decreases and things like that, hopefully. So by far and large, it is profitability.
Yeah. They're still just trying to level everything up like the rest of us.
Yep, it is. And it's interesting. I've had the opportunity to be on the inside on some committees and groups and stuff within the insurance world. And a lot of these companies, it would surprise folks that at the end of the day, what a typical insurance company runs as far as a profit margin, okay, is way, way less than what your Main Street businesses, okay, are running for a percentage, okay, a profit, okay, there. So, I mean, it's barely double digits, there. So, I mean, it's not the huge thing that a lot of folks think about
Right.
and have in their mind. The benefit the insurance company has over our Main Street businesses, okay, is without a doubt volume.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hundreds of thousands or millions of policyholders.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what helps, but that is also a double-edged sword. Okay, and that's kind of why they have done some of the things they have done to slow down new growth. Let's try to take care of our folks that we have, get back to that profitability, and because if we slow down the new growth, then we're not bringing in all these new customers or new areas that potentially are going to get hit again with a hailstorm.
Mhm.
And Mother Nature is Mother Nature. It is what it is. But so they're just slowing it down, and just like the Feds and the interest rate there
Yeah.
still. And the whole goal is the insurance companies want to get back to profitability, just like the Feds would like to get inflation down there. So I mean, at the end of the day, they mirror each other so much there.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah, I never realized that until you've kind of laid this
Mhm.
all out.
Yeah. So, I mean, if a person can think about it and look at it that way, I know a lot of the companies and then a lot of agents and everything, it's like the big corporate conglomerate, machine there that's just there to make money. The agents are just there to make money, Again, we're really not. I mean, we're just trying to help folks and,
Mhm.
do things the best of our ability. And I mean, I know the insurance companies would actually like to operate on margins that other businesses operate on. Okay. And, so think about that, I guess, as folks go the next time, and we want to support our Main Street businesses, our local businesses. I'm not saying anything against them, but just think about that it's like, okay, I mean, they have to make money to keep their doors on. Okay.
Mhm.
They have to make money to turn the lights on. They have to make money so that when my kids, my grandkids, your kids go in there and say, hey, our soccer team, our baseball team, whatever, would like to ask for your support,
Mhm.
or can you place an ad? Okay, so that's the only thing I'd ask everybody to think about.
Right.
Okay, there. Yeah. So, yeah, we sure don't operate on the same margins, but we want to support the community just like those businesses do. And they do a great job. I am not taking anything away from them or discrediting them at all. It's just business.
Yep.
They have the opportunity on a wholesale retail level to operate on a different percentage is
Yeah.
all it is. So
Yep, that
yeah.
makes sense for sure.
Yep.
So you've been in business for 4 years, but you've
Mhm.
been in the industry since 2007.
Yes.
So I like to
Mhm.
ask everybody this
Mhm.
question. If you could go back
Yep.
to either, 2007 or even 4 years ago and give yourself some advice,
Mhm.
what would you tell yourself?
That's a great question. I guess I'm going to kind of dial it in a little bit closer to just 4 years ago. A person, you look at expenses, you're always looking at costs going
Mhm.
in. Okay. And I felt like we did a pretty good job of jumping in with both feet and getting some staff hired and doing some things there. I think I would have, looking back now, I would have amplified that.
Okay.
Probably got even some more staff, maybe done some things differently. But that's now looking back. We can't
Yep.
change it there. But, I guess maybe other entrepreneurs and people out there, the least expensive cost that you have in your business is your staff, your employees. Okay. Get great people.
Yes.
We're fortunate. We've got some great people. Get those great people out there because, I mean, they're an extension of your business, an extension, of your name. Don't be afraid to it. It's like when you get to a point in any business, it's like, okay, we can afford to hire that person now. You're already behind. Okay. And hard thing to do. I mean, but, and you can appreciate it. I mean, you and your husband, you have businesses yourself. I mean, you just kind of have to have that faith that, hey, we're jumping off a cliff and we're going to know there's at least 8 foot of water or more down in the pond down there. We're going to make it, and you just have to have that, kind of, I don't know, a little bit of that killer instinct.
Right.
We're going to make it.
Right.
Okay. And I think we sure did, but I would have probably got some more staff, done some more things that way with it. So, but yeah, other than that, I wouldn't change a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been blessed. The folks, the clients, the company reps that we've got relationships with, and that's kind of a topic there, I guess, and that goes back to the previous experience. I've utilized getting to know some of these company reps and contacts and that, and utilize them. And I mean, and I'm going to give kudos to all the people in the insurance business out there, all the agents, all the staff. I mean, there is so much that goes on behind the scenes nobody ever knows about.
Oh, that's any business.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, nobody is coming in, taking care of a couple of things and running to the golf course or anything like that. I mean, they're I mean, Jim, you remember when I talked to you at the convention there? It's like, hey, I need to talk to you about Haley's situation,
right? Or if you are running off to the golf course, you're getting 10 text messages, 20 emails, and 10 phone calls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's actually a ranch client that I love going down. I love the people in that. And go down. That's down on the Powder River, and there's no cell service. There's no 5G. There's no anything. He's like, gosh, when I call you, you can make it. I said, you have no idea. This is my decompression. This is my de-stress. And I can leave the phone on the dash of the pickup and we just take off and go.
Yep.
Yeah. So nothing better. And because it's all there when you come back.
It is. It'll be there. If it was important, they left a voicemail.
Exactly. So yeah. And everybody needs a moment away. I mean, step back for 15 minutes even,
right?
Whatever it is, I mean,
exactly.
kind of get realigned and, I mean, knock the dust off a little bit. I'll tell you, it's been a great ride, and we're just looking forward to quite a bit more time. I mean, we don't have any anticipations of doing anything different. We're in a great location. We got great staff, great offering in that. Matter of fact, we just upgraded our office situation, signed a 5-year lease agreement. Luckily, this is a occupation industry that, you can work into longer in life. Okay. I tamped my railroad ties when I was younger, and I still do a little bit of that. But anyways, I mean, I can be a 70-year-old insurance agent there. So I'll have more great staff because I'm going to want to work with, just exactly, who I want to work with. And I'm going to slow down. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to slow down. But I mean, we've got a very long range plan ahead of us. So
that's exciting.
Yeah. Yep. Going to be here for a long time. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's all the questions, at least, that I have for today. Thank you for taking some time and chatting with me. I really did learn a lot. So all of your information will be down in the show notes, but can you tell anybody? So I guess the 2-part question. One, what areas do you service? Do you do multi-states? And then how can people get a hold of you if they want to look you up, and where are you located at?
Perfect. Okay.
Lots of questions.
Lots of questions. No, that's great. Actually, through our office here, we're licensed in 5 states. We're licensed, of course, in Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, Colorado, and Arizona. Okay. There, we got a lot of folks moving back and forth in the adjoining states. But then, of course, too, we have the snowbirds. So, I mean, take care of that. So we're licensed in those 5 states. And, if there's folks in other areas there, if you're going to move that, we sure try to get you in contact with an agent in that area.
Yep.
Okay. And to reach out to us, absolutely. We've got landlines in 307-682-6520 is our office number. You can definitely Google us, Jon Craft Insurance Agency. We do have a website, joncraftinsuranceagency.com. Feel free to reach out, check in with us on those avenues. We are located at 1001 South Douglas Highway, Suite 184. We are in the Visionary building. Okay. And right on the Douglas Highway. We're just the next building north of the Prime Rib Restaurant. Everybody knows where that is. Lots of the folks that have lived here for a long time remember Subway.
Yes.
being in the building.
Subway was here when I actually moved here.
Yep. So it's been here, and that's where we're at. So we're on the north end of the building on ground level. Just look for the double doors. That's where we're moving to actually on March 15th. Yeah, we're just moving across the halls. Not a big move, but we're getting a larger office, just a better experience for the staff, the clients, and everything. And lastly, I'd just say, you get to the north side of the building, we've got signage, but we've also got an American flag and a Wyoming state flag above the door. So
that made me happy when I saw that.
Pretty easy to find. Yep.
It did.
Yep. So there's no foolish questions. I mean, only the ones not asked. So absolutely.
For sure.
Yep. No, we appreciate the time here today, Haley. And it's been fun. And again, I love the names of your companies there. That's awesome.
Thanks. You got to get creative sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Yeah. Very good.
All right. Well, I knew that this was going to be a good episode, but it was very enlightening and I did learn a lot from it. So I'm so glad that I got to sit down with Jon. If you've been eyeing my outfit today, I'll give a shout out. So this t-shirt, it came from Giddy Up and Go Boutique. They are in Rapid City, South Dakota. But the jacket, I would call it my own vintage because I've had it since I was in high school. So I don't remember where that is from. So that is all that I have for today's episode. Thank you for joining me. If you want to watch the video version, you can watch that on YouTube. The link will be below, or you can search Brassy Business Podcast in YouTube. Make sure to follow us, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Brassy Business Podcast so we can stay in touch. Have a great day, and I will see you next week.